Good morning. What is going on, everybody? We are live here. Thursday. We are live, and I got retired Navy Rob up here. What is going on, Rob?
Not much, man. How you doing, Big Apple?
Good, good, good. I'm actually just put my volume up. I'm actually not hearing myself. Normally, I have my headsets in my ear, and this time I want to try to. You guys can in the chat can hear me, correct? I just want to make sure. Good morning to everyone here. Silent Silver, what's going on? Herman, AZ, what's going on? We got George Campbell, if you guys are still in here. Mo Win, I said, spoke to Mo Win. Mo always said, I'm going to try to get up in the morning, Big Apple. I said, no problem. And we got Jeff Davis. What is going on? I know it's early in the morning. I normally don't do streams this early, but I figured, you know what? I'd rather just start out early. So what's going on, Rob? How are you, buddy? Rob, you can hear me?
Yeah, 1 second. I'm going to my boy kill that phone. There we
Oh,
go. Okay. But no, I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Good, good, good. So let me just quickly touch. How'd you get into the currency, by the way?
Well, I was doing the coins. I saw some guys with some currency there, and I grabbed my first banknote right here. She's not pretty, but let me bring it in. And I was impressed with the detail on these things. All the detail in there. If you look, there's like fives all going around there. I know you got a lot of glare there. I'm sorry.
No, we could see it. We could see it. It's definitely for sure. We could see that.
But got one, and it's like potato chips. You can't stop after one.
That is absolutely, especially if you're collecting this stuff. It's not something that I actually forgot to almost pull out my other book that I have with currency. And myself, I actually used to collect a lot of the silver certificates. Younger, collecting the older currency, whatever you kind of find, and $2 notes. Everybody thought that the 1976, the $2, they're not really worth anything. I mean, they're worth just $2. I mean, I know a lot of people think that, oh my God, these things are like worth a lot of money. Not really. They're not really worth. They're just really worth $2. Can you find one, a star note? Yeah. I'm not into star notes either, but I do collect a lot of the older currency. I do collect, which I've gotten into. Currency is very expensive. Currency is not. It's not something. It's different than coins. Anybody that's collecting, Miss Steve here first. How are you? How you doing? And good morning to everyone else who has popped in. Currency is something totally different than coins. We know back then currency was backed up by silver or gold, correct?
Yes,
Rob?
sir.
Okay. So we want to make sure and let everybody know our currency back then was backed up by our gold and silver today. Today our money, well, it is what it is.
Yeah, even the old broken bank, obsolete currency, had coinage for the bills.
Correct.
It was like a deposit certificate, and then people would spend it. And then if someone wanted the coinage, they would take that obsolete bill to that bank and get it. Now, you may have a $5 bill from the bank of whatever back then, but the farther away from you got from that bank, the less that note was worth, because the people weren't going to take it, and have to worry about getting over there to get the money and cash it out.
Correct. So we're going to explain that, because I think I need to get more into detail what you're saying. But just to let everybody know, obviously, guys, this is a silver certificate, $10. This was backed up. You see it back here. I'm going to turn my camera around so you guys can see. It says $10 in silver, payable to the borrower on demand. in 1934, guys. So yeah, this was backed up by our silver and gold back then. Well, this one here was silver because it was a silver certificate. So anything that was before 1964 is what you will receive. Your like the $1 silver certificates that people have, and so if you ever come across them, yeah, they are worth money. Condition is always a big thing. Everybody knows condition, just like coins, is the same thing with currency also. So let me just touch back with what Rob was just saying on the currency. First of all, let me just turn my camera around. I'm going to flip my camera around, guys, so that way you guys can see some of the notes that, and most of you guys have seen the notes that I have. So it's not like, because we always share when we're doing, you know, mail calls, anything else. We're always pulling it out, especially when we send stuff out to get graded. Everybody knows because we're excited. We want to see the grade, what we're getting back. So let me turn my camera around. The other thing is books. I'm gonna just blow myself up here, Ralph, for one moment.
Go right ahead.
Guys, the books that I normally, this is one book. Rob got one of the ones that I actually want, which he's going to show you because I want that book. The red, it's considered no difference as if I was showing you this red book in coins, right? Same thing. This is in coins. It's a red book. Tells you the pricing. It tells you everything else. It's the same thing here with the currency. This is all the currency starting from the beginning to the end. Let me remove one thing. Let me get this layout out so it can blow up, and that way you guys can see. So here we go. It starts with the $1, goes back all the way up to, guys, the $20. Then we go into, which I'll gladly show you, the $50 notes. And then we go into the $100 notes. Then, of course, we go into the $500 notes. The $500 notes. And, of course, we go into the $500 notes. If you notice that these are when I do this, by the way, you guys see the flipping through here. It's because the actual note I already have. So I'm actually collecting each one that is graded. So I'm going through every one. Now I have a lot of the other notes, but I want to pick up like this note here. I have this actual note. I have it engraved, so that's why I put the little sticker. So I don't have to continue buying the same one. This one here, I plan to get. There's a couple of them, but there's a lot of them that I have. The one I don't have, which I would love to get, is the actual 5,000 one. The $5,000 notes, guys. This is the $5,000 notes they have. So let me quickly touch back. This is also another paper book, guys. Similar to the one that I just had, but, it's all just different detail. Depends what you want to, get. I like this one. I mean, I recommend anybody to get this red one. This is an actual, it's a very good book to have. The obsolete note book. Obsolete notes are before, obviously, 1864. Any of the notes that are just obsolete notes, obviously, is what Rob was just saying just now. And Rob, if we could just touch back one more time, maybe if you could just pull out a note that would show, I guess, maybe North Carolina or something, that to show where we would go. But these are the actual like Confederates and the obsolete notes that you won't even find. Not even almost in dealers, I guess. Yeah, you could find them. So
yeah, so this is an obsolete note. It's before the Confederacy. This one's from the 1850s, from Canal Bank in Louisiana. Now, in Canal Bank, there would be $10 in coinage, whether it be gold, silver, or what have you, sitting there for this. This is a remainder note. It's never been signed or put into circulation. This is one of with obsolete currency, a lot of it has no ink on the back because ink costs money. However, New Orleans, their bills always had some detail on the back. So these were pretty good. But what you could do is, no one wanted to carry $10 in coinage around with them. So they would carry these. And then they would spend these in town and such. And then, if someone wanted to get their coinage for it, they would take it to the Canal Bank and get the coins. It's a lot easier carrying one little piece of paper than $10 and, small change, because back then the average worker in the 1850s probably only made about maybe $10 a week, if that. So you're looking at, carrying a lot of money around in change. You're not going to get all quarters and, half dollars, because most of your stuff was in the dimes and nickel range. So they would get the smaller change and carry that around.
And so basically, so let everyone else know that this was down. Where's this one at? This one was in the
This is in Louisiana, New Orleans.
Correct. So as if you drove up to, I guess, where Boston. Let's just say you're driving up to Boston. Let's say that $10 note or is going to lose value. It's no longer going to be $10 when it gets up there. It's going to be a lot less. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
In fact, outside the state, you probably have a hard time getting anyone to take it. So, if you were traveling on the road, you probably would have already exchanged this for coinage. But if you were like going outside your parish in Louisiana to another parish, to maybe Baton Rouge or something, this may only bring like $6 or what have you, because, they're going to have to make sure it's real. I don't know if you have any specimen notes, Big Apple, but they used to distribute to the banks what they called specimen notes, which would be like a one-sided card, and it would have it was basically a counterfeit detection thing that you would look at it, and they would look at it with like a loop against the real bill and make sure it had all the right details on it.
I have I have almost the same one that you have there. It's actually the $5 one, which I'll show it to you in a minute. The other one, which is the biggest thing, is that what people didn't really know was actually, obviously back then in the 1800s, there are no cell phones. There's no way to contact. So that was one of the reasons why that note was losing value as it traveled up to Boston. As the notes were, like you said, there was nothing that bled through the back of these notes. So it was just one-sided. So he had, and most of these notes too, I don't know if I have one of those. The note that you were just asking for. This one here bled through, obviously, which is one of the older notes. And these notes become very expensive. Some of them you can find. I don't know. Maybe Rob gets better deals because where he's at, I'm not in his area. We were just talking, and he probably gets better deals than I do.
Yeah, you can get better deals, but like I have one here, and I don't want to scare people away and think, oh God, it's so expensive. It's not a hobby to get into. I got one here that I picked up, and she's not beautiful. She's okay looking. She's got some holes in it from where the serial number was written. There's the pinholes that were a little expanded, but I only paid for this one $20. And this one's from 1861. Like I said, you can see where the ones are. There's some holes going through there because they used what they call was an iron gall ink. If you notice, the ink has like a brownish tone to it. That's corrosion. That's oxidation. So eventually that could eat through like the paper. And what they call ink burn. It goes through. But all in all, you can eventually upgrade. Hey, Miss Gina, Opus.
Yeah, good morning to everybody. By the way, we're not ignoring you. We just want to try to give you as
Mhm.
much information as possible on these notes. We're not going to do such a long stream on these notes. So we're trying to, but good morning to everyone that's been popping in here. AZ Coins and Gina, how are you? Opus, how you doing? So go ahead. I'm sorry, Rob.
No big deal. So like I said, and if you look like this one here, let me see, would have a date on it that you would be paid to redeem it. So some of these were kind of like around the area of a bond.
Yeah,
Um, you look at the Confederate notes. A lot of them tell you that it's after the ratification of a peace treaty between the United States and the Confederate States. Um, so I mean, there was coinage backing it up, but the Confederate notes, which is a pre-Confederate 1861, it may be the beginning of the Confederacy. Um, but because South Carolina or North Carolina succeeded in 1860,
60,
uh,
60s. Yeah,
but the ball didn't start rolling until after the attack on Fort Sumter, and that was in '61 when a lot of other states started succeeding from the Union.
yeah. Hey, again, most of these notes, by the way, by the way, just to touch back real quick, something totally different, guys. Just the same thing with grading. With most of these coins, let me just take. Um, it goes from the um, from from what is it, 10, 8 up to 70.
Yeah.
With PMG and PCGS. There's two of them. PCGS, just like coins, and PMG. This would been like NGC with the actual coin itself. So they're both affiliated with each other. I don't know. Do you have anything with EPQ? You want to explain the EPQ part, which I could explain, but you could.
Let me see. Did I pull anything with exceptional paper quality?
Yeah. So this is an 1872. This is before the Confederates, by the way, which I'm going to show you the Confederate notes. But this is the Carolina, and you know one thing about these notes, the detail of the notes, it was really. I mean, they took time, they took pride in their work. Back then it was totally different. You know, we'll just bring this light back so you guys could see this. Um, I wish I would have brought my camera down. I did not bring my camera down. Um, so I'm trying to just lift it up in the air. Like I said, a lot of these notes, this is from the 50s, 1850s to the 60s. Uh, Most of them, they don't have a date actually on it, but they're giving this is the black where it just bled through the back. There was no of the back. Here's another one. And again, guys, they're not. Again, they're not cheap. But they're not that expensive either. Can if you like notes, you could get into it. I like the older ones, but I like to also get them graded so I don't have to send them out to get graded. They can also become a fugazi. You know what I'm saying? When I tell you guys about the coins, you can have the paper money as a fugazi. But when I look at it, I know what I'm kind of looking for. Plus, I know it may sound crazy, guys, but I do smell the money to make sure the actual of money. Just to let everybody know, I do smell the money. Just to let you know, guys, to make sure there is a certain smell. Just like I opened up that can yesterday, there's a certain smell with this money. Just to let everybody know. Uh,
Now, now, you were saying about the Fugazis. What
yeah,
happened during the Civil War was the North flooded the South, with counterfeit money because you want to weaken the economics. So one of the tactics is the flood with counterfeit money, and it was so bad that there's actually a book for you to be able to tell, you know,
This is the book to get.
what current, what's counterfeit on some bills, what to look for, you know.
Yeah. I mean, if there's any book that you want, this is a really excellent book. I don't have this book, but it's a very good book to get.
And what's funny is the counterfeits have their own collecting market as well. People do nothing but collect the counterfeit bills from that time frame.
Right, right. Oh, EPQ. Let me go with the excellent EPQ. Did you have one? I thought you had
one as well, but
because I want to touch back on two other notes here before I even get into. So, guys, just also let you know there is why is my mind now? I just had it here. Here you go.
Here's a 64 EPQ for a funny back.
Some people you may have to explain what a funny back is.
There we go. It looks like Monopoly money.
You guys, that's what this is. Meaning the paper is when they grade the paper, they're actually giving. They run their hand actually on the currency to see if it was like
still crisp.
Yeah,
if
it was still yeah. You know, high relief almost. It's like almost like a high relief that they really are able to feel the actual paper, the way they actually run their finger on it to feel the actual grade. Because remember, this is printed. And that's how most of this money gets EPQ. When you see that, and actually it's like because I see a lot of the people from the coin community, so I want to that collect coins. We're all from the coin community, but when it's currency, it's just it's a different ball game with currency. It's like almost having it's like having a slab and you're having a star note on a graded PCGS or NGC. There's a star. Normally they have that. They have that star there on that EPQ. So fractional notes. I'm going to just touch real quick, guys. So we're going to just kind of just touch base on most of the stuff. Fractional notes are paper money that was cents because they didn't really have. They had, but back in the 40s, and this was 25 cents of fractional currency. So this was actually 25 cents, but in paper money. Here it is one of them. These here are actually pretty expensive. I have like maybe just 3 of them that I actually want to get graded, which I'm more than sure it's going to come a better grade than this 30 that I have. This is all kind of scratched up, so I may want to resend this one back in because it's all, I bought it like this, so sometimes it's just, people don't really take care of their, this is a slab, just same way, it gets scratched here, but this is fractional currency. Here is 10 cents of fractional currency also. So again,
okay, I don't have that one out.
Huh?
No, I was seeing which one you had there. But so yeah, the fractional currency. There's several different. Excuse me.
Yeah, there's.
Sorry about that. Forgot to mute.
No, that's okay. Yeah, fractional. You want to explain the fractional currency?
Yeah, so I mean, there's like 5 different issues of it, different time frames of it, um, and it starts off with what they call stamp currency, which was basically based off postage stamps, um, and then it progressed from there. But if you see, it had like 5 cent postage stamps on here, and that reflected 25 cents. If you look on the back, and this one's in horrible condition, but I got a good price on it. Um, it says there that you can redeem it for postage, um, but you had to have like $5 in it to redeem it. So people would trade this and use this as currency, and then eventually you could take it and get postage for it, and then sell the postage, I guess. Part of the problem was the Johnson administration, and then the Civil War caused coin shortages and metal shortages. And I'm sure you all seen, the coin collectors seen the tokens, the Civil War tokens and the hard time tokens that the individual stores and that made as their own currency, and that would get traded about. Um, well, the paper currency was in an effort because there was a coin shortage, there was a metal shortage because of the war. Um, that metal went to other needs instead of the coinage. But
So let me just.
like I said, there's several different issues. This is the 5th issue. This is the last generation of them. So this wasn't postal currency. This was actually currency. If you look, this is fractional currency right there. And then it went down. You can redeem it for $3. So if you got $3 worth of this, you can take it and get, $3 silver dollars or $3 in coinage. Some more. I'm so sorry about the glare. And just a different. Now that's the Freiberg number. You can look that up in that book that Big Apple was showing you. And you can see around how much these things are worth and what condition. Because all currency have what they call a Freiberg number, or a number similar to it.
Yeah. The coins that they were talking about were these, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So it's all in this book that I always, I'm explaining even the fractional currencies in the back here. So we have that. Let me move this out because I want to take this, and let me just quickly go into we had the Confederate notes is one of them. This was in 1864 now. Now I don't know where my other ones are. Man, hold on. I thought I had them here. Wait a second. You have any other Confederates? Or you may want to explain the $3 note, by the way.
Well, there's actually more than just 3. I mean, I've seen banks have $4 notes, $5 notes.
Yeah.
It was just during the broken bank periods, and also the Confederacy. I think one of the actual broken banks, the obsolete currency, I think there was a bank that actually had everything from a $1 through a $9 bill, all the way up to 1 through 9.
Yeah, and of course they obviously stopped making that with these notes. Is the same way as they did with the coins. The 20 cents piece, the 3 cents was one of them that they stopped making. Obviously, the same way. Um, but yeah, the notes of these, the ones that you have. Which one is that, Rob? The one that you got there on the
Which
right.
one? The
The
right, the
one,
$3 bill.
yeah. Let me see the back of that for a second.
These are blank.
They're blank, right?
Uh, yeah, this is from this is during the Confederacy, North Carolina. Um, the lady with the staff represented Liberty, and the woman sitting down was the Greek goddess Ceres or Cyrus, Cers. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. Um, she was the Greek goddess of agriculture. And during the Civil War, the North was more industrial, and the South was known for their agricultural. So it was kind of like a tribute to that. Ink costs money, so that you'll find a lot of the backs of these don't have anything. I don't have any out, but there were ones that towards the end of the Civil War, you'll find where the Confederacy took sheets of old notes and then printed on the back of them in a different orientation. So you'll see like strips of old notes on the back of some of these where they reused the paper because they were trying to save money at that point. The Confederacy was pretty much going broke, and they were trying to recycle the paper per se that was uncirculated notes and use that paper to put money out there.
Yeah, I'm actually. By the way, I'm actually some of these notes. Like I just look at this and I gotta get this um, resent and you know reslapped. I hate having these currencies when they have people put so many stickers on it or something. I don't. Why is it so sticky? And
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I can't. I can't. I don't really like the actual. I like PMG better than PCGS, but it's funny that this PCGS is actually like this one. Oh, you got a colony note. Wow, that's a nice one. You
Yeah.
definitely may have to explain what that is.
So this is a colonial note.
Cool.
This is 1774 when we were still under Britain's rule. So, every state had different ones that printed the money. And these were printed up in basically along the same lines. There was, $6. This would be like six Spanish mill dollars. You can go to London and get gold or silver, sterling per dollar for the paid bill according to the direction of a Assembly of Maryland dated in Annapolis this 10th day of April in 1774 in Roman numerals. You'll find a lot of the ones from Philadelphia and Pennsylvania were from Sellers and Hall. And if you're really lucky, you can find ones from Franklin and Hall. And the Franklin and Hall was Benjamin Franklin. Now, of course, they're going to be a high dollar one. If you look in the back, anti-counterfeit measuring was the leaf. Because it was actually hard for them to duplicate that. And it was worth $6 Spanish mill dollars or $27 sterling. And they didn't play around back then. At the bottom is "'Tis death to counterfeit." So, if you were caught counterfeiting, you would pretty much be lynched up in the public square right away. And like the state seal of Maryland right there. I got some of the ones that Big Apple likes here.
Oh yeah, now we're talking.
Large face or large size bills.
Large notes. This is my ball game right here. I love my large notes.
Oh, I do too. But like he was saying back then, the currency, I mean, this represented both sides of the United States, the industrial and the agricultural. They actually had meaning behind what they put on the bills.
Right. And it was backed up. It was backed up by our gold, and here is obviously, which a lot of people have seen. There is your gold certificate.
Yeah, so this was actually a Federal Reserve note. This is one of the first of that monster. But it does say will pay to the bearer on demand. So it did have some kind of package to it, whether it be silver or gold or whatever it was at the time. But Series 1914, which just means it was designed for 1914. This could have been printed anytime after 1914 until the next series. But like I said, they were pretty nice.
The same thing here. This was with the Federal Reserve, still the same thing, 1922, because Federal Reserve existed in 1913. This is a gold certificate. We pay on borrow and demand in gold. So, those $20 gold pieces, this is what you walked in the bank at. This is what you walked in and said, hey, I want my $20. Go. There you go, right here. Here it is, guys. Paper money like this, guys, as you get with the large notes like this, they're not, George, they're considered horse blankets. You can call them horse blankets, large notes, whatever you decide to want to call them. We could call them pretty notes too if you want, but
yeah, I kick myself in the butt all the time because Dolls had one of those up on auction or up for sale one day, and I passed on it.
How long
ago? In beautiful condition. It was about a year ago, maybe a little longer. It was ungraded. I mean, it looked like a perfect paper quality to it.
Yeah.
No folds that I could see.
What was she asking? 300?
Yeah.
I got this from Dolls, actually. She sold this. I don't know where she got this from, but I didn't pay 300. I paid a lot less. This probably sits at 320, 70 maybe, because these notes are expensive.
Yeah, the one she had was ungraded that I saw, but
yeah, this note here was national currency. Look at that serial number, by the way. It's a hell of a serial number on that one. This it's rated 55. Again, Federal Reserve, 1918. National currency, guys. This is a nice note. Actually, I'm going to send this in to have it slabbed by PMG. Rob, it's funny because I don't like the older PMG holders.
No, I don't like them either.
And none of this is the actual. Well, what happened? This was a gift to me. That's what it was. This was a gift. So, what am I going to do? It's a gift. What do I say? No, I don't want it because it's a no.
No, I don't want it.
I don't want it because it's in PC. It's in a PCGS, no less than the older slab. Because the new PCGS is actually they're really nice looking. Actually, like I said, it's in this one here.
Yeah, what I hate about them is when the label's on the outside like that.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's this could be peeled off. It could be tampered with. I just don't like it. That's why I'd rather have it completely sealed, because this part here doesn't look like it's sealed. So, I'm going to have them slab it up in this here. And actually, this one I sent out to get graded. This came back as a 20. So I was kind of happy with it. I was like, all right, well, I didn't really pay that much for this note. And again, anybody that buys currency like this or buys anything that this is not something that you flip. This is not coins like what we do today. You could buy your coin here for like $30-$40, and this is an old I'm not really pulling this one because I just had this one here. You pull this out and you say, hey, okay, I picked this up for $20, but this sits almost in a book value because it's 925. It's F detail. Well, F detail, this sits almost like at what Red Book says it's about 100, but you're going to get rid of it probably for 65. I picked it up for $20-$25. I'm going to bid it either, whatever the story may be, for, $60, or you start bid at, $40 and, bring paper money is not like that. Paper money is just, it's a different animal, different ball game, when it comes to this stuff here. We also, obviously, here's the $2 notes also, same thing.
Battleship, I'd love to get one.
Yeah. I know that here's one, again, people say the horse blanket or the 1923. This is an actual star note. Again, this was your backed up by your pay, $1 one silver dollar. This is what you walked in your bank and you picked up your coins. It's a star note. Rob, I know that you collect your star notes, correct? I mean,
yeah, I don't. I mean, some of the older ones I collect. I mean, yeah. I get money, at the commissary when I get change, and they usually just go to the boy unless it's something really interesting, like a super low number. But you can check the modern notes online to see. But I do have a Star Note silver certificate here that I believe it or not, I actually found in the wild.
In a bundle of notes, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
But let me go ahead and. So it's a star.
Right.
And that means the initial sheet that this was printed on, there was an error. So they had to reprint that sheet. So they designated it with a star on the block number there at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, and star notes, guys, a lot of people may know, may not know the replacement notes. When they're printing out the notes, there's a damage, and now it becomes where they replace it through star notes. Today's star notes, I don't collect. I don't see a value to them. I know a lot of people do collect them, and they run the number. Oh my God, I don't. I mean, if somebody wants star notes, let me know. I will get you a bunch of them. I know people in the bank. I will get you a stack of star notes, and you can just buy them from me. Not even buy, just get them. If it's $1, I'll give it to you for $1. By actually the value. That's how much they're worth to me. They're not worth today. If somebody shows a star note, they're not. To me, it could be $100. If it's $100 star note 2017, I will give me the $100. I will give you that for free. There's no charge because to me, it's not worth anything. I mean, there are people that collect them. There are people that I got it. They collect it. They're like, oh my God, star. I got it. I don't see star notes. I still have a few star notes for sale, all in low printing runs. Right. I don't know what a star note runs. I don't know how much they are. I don't know what if that star note is, I mean, obviously it got to be a star note of today unless it's backed up by today's money, today's silver or gold. I need that gold Farmer is talking about. I'm not that sure. Yeah, you'll get free. Definitely, you'll get it. You get a free shipping for sure, George. Yeah,
You'll
definitely.
get a free chicken with it.
I, I even spend the money to you for free, George. Matter of fact, George, you can come and pick it up. Don't worry about that. But yeah, I don't collect star notes. Someone has shown me a star note. I was looking in the book, and the book didn't even indicate 2017 star note. I mean, it tells you here. Just look at it. It's plain and simple. It's in black and white. I mean, it's going to tell you your $1 star notes. What are they valued? They're probably valued actually at the dollar note. I don't think it's worth anything, but like I said, maybe to some people, like Farmer says, hey, I got star notes, they're low prints. I don't know. I don't collect them. If I have them, I will give it to you for free. There's no charge to it. It's not a problem. It's not to me. It's not. I don't buy that. That's not something I purchase.
Yeah, I'm not that much into it either. Like I said, I'll get $10 in ones after I, go grocery shopping and
Yeah,
look through them. And what I'm mainly looking for is like notes by bar or web notes or semi-interesting serial numbers.
yeah.
They won't go to my boy anyway.
Look, if someone picked up today a note that had like all zeros and a one at the end, here, and I'll give you like I said, where's that note I just had with the serial number, the one that this one here, and actually, believe it or not, Steve looking for silver, he gifted this to me. I mean, yeah, well, obviously this is a national currency. This is not, something that, but the serial number, yeah. If you found a note, just today's note that had a bunch of zeros and then a one at the end, well, then yeah, I would tell you, yeah, keep it. I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't buy it from you, but I would tell you, hey, keep it. Maybe send it out to get graded. Somebody out there may find because that'd be something rare. But if it's
Yes. Like this
how
one here I got. This is modern.
yeah,
It's 2017, but if you look at the serial number, 65650505.
right.
There's people out there that like that kind of crap. So you know what? It may be worth hanging on to. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you could hang on to it. It's not. I don't. I listen. Anybody's hustle. Feel free. That's your hustle. If that's what you like to do, that's what you like to do. I don't. I don't. There's tons of people that. Hey, what is this value? Somebody showed me a 1977. It was a 1977. It wasn't even. I think it was in a star note. I'm not even that sure. I said, and it was in a real good crisp. I said, hey, listen, I would suggest you keep it. It was the old notes, guys. It was the old notes. I don't have $100 here. I don't have $100 here. So no, I actually have one, but I don't have one here. Let me see if I have one. I do have one in the book here. I know for a fact I got one in the book here. Actually, you know what? I have one here that I think I'm planning to send out to get graded. And actually, it's actually this week. I know these are all my notes that I'm supposed to send out. I have not yet sent it out yet. But here you go. It was one of these old notes here that I'm going to send out. And this is a 1950. This is a redeemable. It's a redeemable. But this was the note that they showed. They showed this one in 1977. So I was like, yeah, keep it. It's a good note. They were like, oh, would you? Well, I don't want it because I have a bunch of these. I could show you a stack of these $100 bills I have. Yeah, I could go to the bank. Not these, the 100, not the 1950s, but 1980s. I have the 50s. I mean, I have them. I just don't. I just put them away. I don't really do anything with them. But yes, by the way, I have this old fractional one, the same one that I think I saw you pull this one out before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
actually,
that one up there.
it's actually a pretty decent one, actually.
Yeah, mine's not too great. I got one that's a 40,
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
there's also a variation on this. If you look at the keys, some of them have a shorter key and some of them have a longer key that's in the seal.
Yeah. But you see, Rob, see that punch hole there? That little pinhole in the corner there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna come back, but I'm gonna still send it in. But they're gonna tell me it's gonna have that. So for sure, there is a pinhole. Somebody must have tucked it in. Oh look how cute! Look at this little. What is this? Sometimes people don't know what this is, and they just hang it up on the wall. They're like, holy shit! Look at this. Here, I got a red seal, red seal star note. I'm gonna send this in. I mean, red seals they're pretty decent. They're not. I got stacks of these $50. I have a bunch of these. I was actually gonna send the whole stack of it in and get it graded. Have you seen that, by the way, Rob? What they grabbed like $5,000 of these notes. I was gonna just send the whole stack in there. And actually, the note, by the way, guys, just to let you know, when they grade it, they want to make sure that it can stand, properly, and make sure there is a middle crease in it. But it's a star note. I was actually looking at the serial number on this, that one here. But this is also a redeemable note, 1950s, but it's also a star note redeemable note. But the serial number, I just kept it also. I mean, obviously, I would have kept it because it's still a redeemable note. So I'm not gonna,
Now, you're talking about the star notes. One of the things I also grab onto is error notes.
Error notes, yeah.
Like this is where the paper got kind of like bunched up when it was being printed. And it had to be on the second and third print, or actually the second print. Money's printed 3 times. The back side's printed first. Then the main part of it, the picture, the 10, the United States, blah, 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 the second time. And then the third time, the seal and the serial numbers are put on. But if you look, there's what they call a gutter fold error, where it was folded when it went through the second printing. So it kind of like got bunched up and didn't get ink on there. So when it expanded back out, you have this little gutter fold is what they call it, area with no ink. I have one here on a funny back as well. This one's seen it's very fine, but old silver certificate with an error, the gutter fold error. This one here, when they did both printings, it was there. So when they printed the back, the fold was there, and then when they printed the front, it was there as well. But I like these gutter folds. I like the error notes as well. There's people that just collect error notes. I mean, so. But here you go, Big Apple.
Oh, wood.
Legal tender.
Yep, that is a Woody. That is a Woody. That's a
look at the back.
By the way, tell me you're going to send that in.
I don't know, because it's got some horizontal creases on it. So it's probably only going to get like a 30 at the most.
Yeah, but a 30. Well, I always look at it in the sense of, once you preserve it, it's in there. I mean, we could hold it, but it's still. I like it to have it. I mean, I think that the notes, any note, that people have, especially with these older notes. I mean, listen, I had them, but I'd rather have them, slabbed up, graded, because it's.
Yeah, I think I may send this one in, just for the preservation factor alone.
And if you don't want to send it in, then just sell it to me. I'll buy it. Let's make an offer.
Big Apple saying buck and go.
No. I don't want to do no buck and go, please. I don't want no buck and goes. We're not going to do that here. Let me just see the buck and go. fucking goes. No fucking goes. I don't want nobody to
Then we
start
got
that.
then we got gold certificates from 22.
Yeah, I got one of these also. I don't
This
even.
was Pierce. He was the first Secretary of the Treasury. This who's featured on this bill.
Good looking guy there, huh? Yeah, got another gold certificate. Just 1922 on this one also.
Yeah. Until
Yeah,
Roosevelt went and screwed it all up, huh?
Yeah. Then he did the gold. Then he retrieved all the gold and silver.
1933.
Yep, 1933, and that's actually a matter of fact, which I have here, which is the five when everybody had to return their gold and silver back to the banks. You know, when someone like me back then would have came in there and said, "Hey, I got my silver and gold." I probably would have only had so much little gold pieces. They would have said, "Okay, Mister, Big Apple, here you go, and here's your 60, your $40 or $60 worth of gold." But then if somebody like Navy Rob here goes and returns his gold, they're gonna have to give him the bigger notes because he's returning the big numbers. So they said, "Mister, here you go," and that way they didn't run out of the small denomination notes for the little guys like me. But the bigger guys like Rob, they would have had to go in there and say, "Mr. Rob, here you go. We got to now give you the bigger notes because we don't want to just give you all 20s and 10s." So that's where this came in. That's where these notes came in.
So here's some legal tender for you as well.
Yeah. That's a nice note. I like that one. I got one from Steve looking for silver. I picked up one from his LC.
I mean, you got to love the detail. What I really love is back then they told you right on the money the punishment for counterfeiting.
Yeah.
15 months of hard labor. And back then, hard labor was hard labor.
Yeah, that was something else. Yeah, Farmer said 20% of the population. Well, I'm not that sure. I wasn't around at that time, but yeah, I mean that's what they say. 20%, maybe 30%. Who knows? But I know whoever it was, they shipped their gold outside of the United States. That's what I do know. I got a couple of people that I know that shipped their gold somewhere else that I knew. But yeah, they that's where they picked up all that stuff. They had to give you the small so that way they didn't run out of the domination notes. But
we can't have a currency screen without talking about these, though.
Oh yeah.
So during the war, I mean, you've seen the Hawaii notes as well. What they did was over in North Africa, they printed these special notes because if the Germans would have taken over North Africa and captured this money in large amounts, the United States would have just told the world that, hey, these ain't worth nothing anymore. We demonetized them. So at that point, they wouldn't be worth anything. So they printed these special notes for the North Africa theater. If you notice, it's got the yellowish seal there, the nice blue 10 on the other side. But and also they did the same thing for. I wish I had a better one to show you for Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii.
The Japanese would have overran and took over the island, and all this would have been negated. They took the Series 1935 bills, which were still being printed at the time, and they did the fourth print on them with the overlay of Hawaii. And on the back also Hawaii. Now this one here has residues where some schmuck put it in a book, glued it down. But I picked it up for a few bucks, so I can bear with the glue.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad deal then. You picked it up for couple of dollars, it
I
is
think
worth.
I think I paid $5 for this because of
Oh,
the residue.
I mean, glued or not, you stole it for
Yeah.
that. I mean, without, you know, I mean, even if you sent it in and they told you that it doesn't make a difference, you actually, you know, I mean, you can make money on some currency. It's not like you can't. And, you know, if I tell you, which one was it here? This one here. This one here. I mean, actually, both of them. Both of them I picked up for a good deal. I think I bought this one here for $900. You know, I mean, any $500 note that you're gonna get today should be dollar for dollar, right? It should be dollar for dollar, but you know, 25. I don't know what this would probably sit. I mean, you could put, you know, what they're selling on eBay. Well, you know, you could go comp with eBay, go with the book. Comp on eBay, they probably sell from between 14 to 15. This one here, same grade, but it has the EPQ. This one here, I just recently saw, same one. This one was at 22.50. I think that was just recently sold. So, and I only picked this up for like probably 11 and a half. I mean, you know, so I mean, you can, but it's very rare that you would, you know, flip and make that sort of change. I also had a $500 note for 1,500. Farmer, they are expensive, and as more time goes by, these notes do become expensive. Was that graded, Farmer? That's my next question. $1,500. I'm more than sure it was graded. It had to be graded. I don't think. I don't think. I regret. Yeah. What? From PC. Oh, public error. I think. I don't know what that is. Um, no, not graded. What? But in a plastic case. Wow. Well, farmer, that may be a little expensive. That $500 note, because I'm thinking maybe it should be about. I mean, 1,500. I mean, I don't know. I think that's a lot, because if you go on like eBay, you can probably get this one graded, and you already know what it is for maybe 15, maybe 1,600, maybe. I don't know. I haven't looked recently, but and I don't sell. You know, none of my notes. I don't sell anything, but I give free shipping. It doesn't matter to everyone. It doesn't make a difference. Free shipping for me, for everybody, because I don't sell. You know, Rob, I wanted to ask you, do you have, I'm looking for a note, you know, and the actual note that I'm looking for, I saw one at Steve's LC when he was up. Um, I had it
Talking
with, I,
the 23 $1 red seal.
yeah, but I actually want the 28. Have you ever? Do you have the 28? You know, there's a 28,
Oh,
right?
the small bill, the
Yeah,
28.
it was
No, I
1928. I
don't.
mean, that's so hard to find. I mean, that's just, you know,
Yeah.
this
So the
note right
series
here.
1928s with the red seal, most of them were actually printed in the 40s.
Yeah,
And they're double A blocks, they're bookend with A's, and they were only released in Puerto Rico.
yeah,
I can see if next time I go to my LCS if they have one
yeah,
and let you know.
yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, I don't want to overspend, but uh, yeah, farmer. Yeah, if I was you, I would keep haggling with that guy, but I don't know. Ungraded $500 note. I mean, I do think that it should be dollar for dollar. Did I
You know,
pay 11.50? Well, that's the max I was going to pay for this $500 note. I would have never bought anything more than that,
the ungraded
because
you could probably go 750 depending on the condition.
yeah, I mean, you could probably go on eBay and purchase one of these graded. It may cost you, farmer. It may cost you $1,500 graded. You don't have to send, but at least you already know what grade you have in your hand when it's coming to you. You buy it. I mean, you know.
Yeah, those plastic cases. I mean, you can pick them up for like $10. And if
Yeah, I
if
mean,
it's
yeah,
sealed in an acrylic case, you're never going to get it out. So it really takes away from the value at that point.
right. Yeah, I know. I think I know if he's saying it's a case. I don't know. Uh, um, yeah, that's one of the things. If it's in that case, what would there's just no value in that case.
So
Yeah, the
here's one I
event.
picked up that I like. It's not that big bills like a Big Apple can afford, you know.
Nah,
Um, but I got this here.
let me go. I want to pull up the $5 note that Farmer is actually talking about. Yeah, that's what is
It's
that
a
thing?
mule too.
Oh, it's a mule. Wow. Okay.
So the plate numbers were different. They use a different plate to print the back than the front, and they call that a mule. Now, this is a $5 note. You notice the note down there, but this is what I paid for it. And my LCS, they were just trying to get rid of it, so I was like, you know what, I'll take it. I couldn't get a mule and get it graded for $8. You know.
No, a grading also. It's the same thing as with coins. Same thing. They actually, I think it's more expensive to get currency graded, by the way, than actual coins. Well, let me see. Is it? I gotta see it because I totally forgot. I thought I would have had that. Farmer, I think this is the note that you're talking about. This 1890 $5 note, right? Indian Chief. I think this is the one. Well, it got to be the only one you're talking about. Uh, he just thinks that he's cool. Have one in his display. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes some guys may want to show, but you know what note is actually really cool? This one. Besides that Indian Chief, this is real cool.
Oh, the Lincoln Portal.
Yeah, the Lincoln Portal is very nice.
You know, they stopped printing them really because it wasn't taken very accepted because they were released right after Lincoln's assassination, and even back then they said it looked like a gun barrel being looked down.
Yeah. And let me just show it. Let me just show it back to them.
So I mean, they had a really small print run, so that's why they're really really high in price when you can get one.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's gonna be able to see that.
Blow yourself up.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's the back of it right there.
Beautiful notes. They only did them like 1 year or
Yeah,
one series, but
that note in a V8 should be from 4.5 to about 500-600 bucks, easy. If you're gonna get it in an extra fine, 40, it's gonna run you about almost, probably, I don't know, six. It's gonna, it may, I don't know, it may run you. Oh, is that, yeah? That's a two. It may run you about four from three to about $4,000. I'm guessing. These books are a little old. They're a little bit back, but I kind of just always go according to what I would love to have is an Indian Chief. The cheap one I find for 700 bucks. Well, they're not. They are. Again, notes are expensive. It's a totally different than coins. For sure, for sure. It's not. It's not something that's you know um, something that you find. And it's not that there's not that many people out here in the community that that collect currency. Besides myself, Rob's fine. Rob's fine. Rob, retired David Rob. I was just say Rob fine treasure. I don't think he collects currency. I think he just collects uh, coins. And Farmer, I think you collect currency, correct? But I don't know if you collect this type of currency, the older notes. Um, Jack, do you collect notes? I'm not that sure whether you do or not. I mean, you could. Oh, Janice. Janice collects notes also. She has a stack of notes also. Um, she has. And, I've also given a lot of silver certificates that I have that I kind of just, give out. Uh, what year is it? Um, Collection some currency. Oh, okay, Farmer collects some currency. Yeah. So, but anyway, guys, listen, we are going to be heading out. So we've been about an hour and 15 minutes almost in here to this. Rob, I think it's a pleasure having you up here.
Oh, thank you, Big Apple.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's very rare, find too many people collecting currency. So, um, that's one of the things that. By the way, if anybody out there has your $1,000 and $500 notes and they want to get rid of, let me know. I always, like anybody else, like I tell anybody, you know, I make an offer, that no one can refuse. So just to let everybody know, we can always come. We can come down to an agreement. Oh, I sell most of my currency. Um, Farmer says, yeah, he sells sold some of his old currency. Yeah, yeah. It's like I said. It's the Black Eagles. By the way, this is one of my favorite notes too. This one here, I actually want to get rid of. By the way, I just want to upgrade. So when I upgrade, then I get rid of it. But this one here, I want to sort of upgrade on this note. So this one here is your $2. It's EPQ on this one. By the way, I set this one in, came back as EPQ. I was kind of happy on that one. Yeah, like I said, I have a lot of these notes, guys. So again, thank you for stopping by. Take care, like George says already for me. Take care, brush your hair. George, by the way, just to let you know, George, June the 3rd, I found another one. It's actually right up here. If you want, I'm definitely going to go to that way. It's in June. It's in next week. I was actually supposed to give you a call. I totally forgot. But I'm going to stop there. I let Demo know he wants to. We're going to try to see if we can get together on that. Anybody else is welcome. Guys, come down. We'll have a blast down here in New York. Travel, get on a plane. What you got to do? Rob, you're going to come down here to New York? We're going to hit to the coin auction place here.
Yeah, I'll have to pass on that one. But we got a coin show this weekend down here in Jacksonville, Jacksonville, Florida, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So they usually got a good variety of everything, including ancient coins, which I'm kind of into a little bit too.
Yeah. Oh, ancient coins. Okay. Yeah, that's something that, I mean, coins and currencies a whole big different world. You talk to people, they just they get like, oh my God, I didn't even know this was all here. Well, yeah, it's here. So
hey, that Black Eagle, what's the Freiburg number on that?
233. And when he's talking about, guys, this number here.
You said it was a BF20.
Yeah, 30.
30. Okay.
30. Yeah, I'm trying. I want to get me something a little maybe like try to get a 55, 65, 64. You know, I don't know.
All
I
right.
gotta go
Hey,
on the
email me around about what you're asking for that. I'll let you know
Oh, for what?
for that
What?
Black Eagle.
Oh,
Because
what? I'm,
my Black Eagle's only like a 12. It's ungraded, but I know I'm not going to get above a 12 on it.
oh, so you're looking for this one?
Yeah, I mean I have one, but I want to upgrade it. So
Got it.
like I said,
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we'll talk, bro. We got our numbers. Don't worry about that. You know.
yeah, no problem.
All right, guys. Again, George, thank you again for taking care of brushing your hair, George. Guys, thank you again for stopping by. Guys, I got a mail call coming up today. I'm waiting. It was supposed to come in yesterday for an 1899 Philly and an 1893. I don't know if that was a Philly or no. I'm not that sure which one it was, but it was one of those. I know it's not the S. That's for sure. But yeah, it was supposed to get here yesterday. So guys, I will probably catch everybody at my next show, which is probably about another hour from now. Maybe I may have to push the time back. But guys, thank you for stopping by. Take care, brush your hair. See you later.